What's going on, guys? Welcome to Rabbit's Used Cars. You like Mustangs? By God, we got Mustangs for days, son. BULLITT Mustangs, 2019 BULLITT, dark Highland green. This thing dropped, drove the Ford boys crazy. Ponies in the Smokies, this bad boy rolled out. The car was delivered to Ponies in the Smokies. Big Mustang show, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Had a great time. This thing was literally driving everybody nuts at the show, me included. Kind of a BULLITT fan. And then, of course, probably one of the rarest of the tribute BULLITT cars. You got to think about it. You know, we had the 01s, we had the 08s, and of course, we got the 19s. This is a true blue BULLITT Mustang. Quick story, little BULLITT trivia for you. Originally, it was said they made 723 of these cars. Well, after a recount, they actually made these cars in dark Highland green, true blue, and black. And the green and the black they made more of. True blue was the least amount made. They said they made 723. Well, actually, they double counted and actually counted one of the black cars as a blue car. I wonder if at Ford, the guy that measures horsepower is the same guy counting cars. Anyway, they got it off. They only made 722 true blue BULLITT Mustangs. This one right here, a beautiful example. The original wheels and tires are being preserved. They're wrapped up. So they got these Cobra R's, no harm, no foul, look great. And if you accidentally curb one of these, it's not the end of the world. You didn't curb the original BULLITT wheels with it. 78,000 miles original paint and standing tall. You know, everybody asks me all the time, Rob, what's the cars about? What's the cars to look for? New Edge BULLITT Mustangs, find them with good miles, good cars. Those are the ones you want. You find a true blue, you grab it fast. These cars are driving the Mustang guys crazy right now. You know, I was telling you about, the Fox bodies. I was telling you about the SN95s. Now I'm telling you different. This is where you need to be, right? You need to be looking out for them. Highland green, black, true blue, whatever. But these cars right now are the ones to find, especially clean, unmodified, nice examples. The fun part about these cars is a story that I have involving a Highland green 2001 BULLITT Mustang. So let me take you back in time to a chubbier rabbit. 2001. 2001. To be 22 years old again. 2001. 22 years old. And what was I doing? I was out cruising the main drag. That's right, the old eBay outlaw himself. And I was in it full-fledged. And I was riding around in my little Mustang, cruising around. If I wanted my Mustangs in my little drop-top Corvette, the one you guys seen on VinWiki. Chop flared on 20s, bright red. Love that car. I had my little SN95 Mustang, and I used to love the cruise the strip. We'd start at Westgate Mall and drive all the way down North Blackstock. There was a shopping center that was like our turnaround, and we'd go back and forth all night long. And I loved to cruise. And there was always guys who wanted to race. Well, if you want to race, the place to go is you could jump over one road and you were on Highway 26, which is a little 3-lane highway. 11:30, 12 o'clock at night, ain't a whole lot going on. Buddy of mine, he was the manager of a Quick Lube Express, like one of those little chain Jiffy Lube places. And we had a car club back then. And, we all ran together and we all had our decal. Like that was the thing. You had to have your windshield decal. That was what everybody wanted. And the name of the car, a total loser central, I know. Matt's rolling his eyes. But at the time, we thought it was cool. Premier Performance, that was the name of our car club. And we had about 40 of us. And we all hung out and talked trash and lied about what our cars would not do and everything. Typical car club. And I've made friends for life. Well, this guy, he'd been running around for a little bit and he got his dream car. He bought a brand hammer new 2001 Highland green BULLITT Mustang. And it was beautiful. I mean, he come pulling up with it. Everybody's cruising around. This thing's brand new. First week, this thing's riding around with a paper tag on it. A couple weeks later, he's back out there again. We're all riding around. And I was actually driving my Mustang that night. My SN95 triple black GT, my baby. I love that car. We're riding around, tops down. It's midsummer. Everybody's having a good time. This car's like brand new still. Literally just got his tag put on that day. And he paid me for his decal. We put his decal on in the mall parking lot. And the thing was, putting the decal on So he had one guy holding it on one side, he had another guy holding it on the other, and then you had a guy in the middle that was telling you if you're lining you up. You know, it was real exact. There was a science to this. So we put his decal on, and we're all riding around. I even rode with him in the Bullitt, you know, cruising up and down the strip. Here in South Carolina, you know, we're really close to the North Carolina state line. There's a bunch of boys like to come down from Forest City, North Carolina, and like to cause a little ruckus with us from time to time. And they like to race, talk a little trash. And you know me, I mean, I might like to talk a little trash back from time to time, you know, even at a young age. And so we're riding around the Mustang, and some guy comes up, and a little BULLITT Mustangs, nobody knew anything about them. You know, they didn't know anything about it, you know, or whatever. Guy had a 4th gen Trans Am. It was an LT1 car. It was black, I do remember that. And he pulls up and he goes, I'll run that thing for $100. An old Trans Am sounded good, so it probably had a flow master or the muffler fell off. And he said, where you go? I said, we're going to 26. So another thing to show you how old Rabbit is. And dumb moves I made at a young age. So we were going to go and let them go race. So instead of them two idiots going out and racing by themselves, I decided to get me and a few of my buddies so we could block the road. We could block a highway so they can stop and race from a dig. First dumb move. Second dumb move. You never guess what I just bought with my Circuit City credit card. Got my camcorder. My JVC camcorder. Had those, took the mini VHS tapes. I thought that thing was the cool. I mean, everybody said, oh man, yeah. I mean, could you imagine the good films I could have been making with it? No, I'm filming cars driving, whatever. But anyway, so we had top down on my Mustang, had my strobe lights on, impersonating a police officer. Third dumb move. Had my strobe lights on in my Mustang because why do you need strobe lights in your Mustang? Because I'm an idiot, that's why. And I'm fascinated with things that light up. Still am to this day. So we're sitting there, what do? Shoot, son, 3 lanes, I'm running right down the middle. They pull out around, I cut my strobes on, I stop in the middle of the highway. My buddies pull up side by side right behind them. So the cars are in front of us, 3 cars blocking the highway. We've got a 1/4 mile to the exit we got to take to turn off. They'll spit you right back out at the mall where we started. Slick road, nobody's coming. We already got a few cars backing up. My buddy is standing up in my passenger seat, holding the camera, holding on to the windshield frame. And they gun it. And you know what, I let her eat. And I keep up, you know, I stay back a little bit, probably 20 feet back, 30 feet back, way closer than I should have been. And they let her eat. And I'll be honest with you, old BULLITT Mustang was giving the LT1 Trans Am a run. He had probably a fender on him. And we're sitting there watching, that camera's like this, you know. Looking at this video, thinking back at looking at this video, I appreciate Matt so much, my camera guy, because this thing literally would make you seasick watching it, you know. And I mean, this guy's trying to hang on to the car and hold the camera and all this stuff. You know, the car goes like, well, the guy at Forest City seen he was getting beat, so, you know, naturally kind of a dick move, but a lot of guys do it. It's part of street racing. There ain't no rules to this. He just jerks wheel over on him a little bit. You know, just kind of messes with him. Keep in mind, that's this guy's pride and joy. He just financed everything he's got to get this thing. I mean, it's brand new. So as soon as he seen that Trans Am come over just a little bit, he jumped out of the way. Well, when he jumped out of the way, he went to sliding. When he went to sliding, he went over on the side of the road towards the median. When he hit that median, he hit that loose gravel, all that loose dirt. Next thing you know, he started sliding faster. This car went sideways. Keep in mind, I'm right behind it still. We're still blocking traffic. Sliding sideways, he hits the grass, that damn car speeds up. There's a concrete drainage ditch that runs down the side of that highway. And every time I drive down Highway 26, coming back from the beach, coming through Spartanburg, South Carolina, I think about this. I saw that car slide down. When it slid down, it went burp, burp, and almost rolled out and fell back over roof first into this drainage ditch, this concrete retaining ditch. It tore that Mustang all to hell. So naturally, we all pull over. And then, of course, all these people that are stopped behind us on the highway. You guys were street racing. We already called the cops. I run over. I said, hey, you guys all right? None of them wearing a seatbelt. Fourth dumb move. None of them wearing a seatbelt. His girlfriend actually hit her head at the corner of the windshield and kind of scuffed it up. Didn't bust her head up or anything. He banged his knee, but all's good. I said, you know what? Love you. Call me tomorrow. We took off. Cops coming. So we're sitting in the mall parking lot. Like, do we need to leave? Do we need to go? What do we need to do? I done put the top up in my car like that made a difference. I didn't know if I did get arrested, at least, my car can be locked up. This is what happens when you hang out with Ford people. Right here. Problems like this. Problems. Like, we're probably about to get raided with these two damn cars sitting beside me or something. And the cops never did come. And we have a video of the whole damn thing happening. And that video bounced around for a few years. Now the camera's long gone, the video's long. I don't even know what happened to it. But I remember that tape and I remember that car rolling over. So a funny story, I told you about the windshield decal we put on it. Busted windshield all to hell. Well, probably about 2 months later, Fun Ford weekend, Atlanta Dragway, Commerce, Georgia. Well, that's where every Mustang guy's got to go. Fun Ford weekend. It's kind of like Super Chevy for losers. We went down there and I showed up my little Mustang, and we're walking around and there's a big Mustang salvage parts place in Winder, Georgia. I can't remember the name of it, but they're in Winder, Georgia. I remember that. And they had a big booth set up in a tent. And they had their flyer, and it was a color flyer, like printed on slick, like a Mustang. And there was that BULLITT Mustang that my buddy rolled, sitting on its wheels now, but that was the cover up. They had a BULLITT Mustang in, and it still had the Premier Performance decal across the windshield. So that was kind of neat. We actually saved a few of those flyers. I've actually saw one of them last year. Somebody still had theirs. Every time I see these cars, that first thing I think of is my old buddy and his 2-week-old dark Highland green Mustang, and then seeing the shiny side go down. That's definitely a crazy story, and that's what I love about these cars. But back to the cars. Definitely a cool car. 722 made. You got to think about how many Dodge Demons they make now. You got to think about how many new ones of these made. There was 722 of those. These cars are going to be those blue chip collectibles. Key, don't put it on its roof. Don't race black Trans Ams from guys out of state. Wear your seatbelt. And don't videotape it if you do any of the above things. And turn your damn strobe lights off. And the funny part at the end, when we're sitting in the mall parking lot, the mall security guard pulled up and told me, said, I need to turn my strobe lights off. I think he was just mad because I had better strobes than he did. Guys, we'll catch you next time at Rabbit's Used Cars.
Yeah, I see that.
2001, 722, True Blue, Highland Green.
Dark Highland.
Dark Highland Green, Steve McQueen, BULLITT. I'll forget her to do that. Baby, come to me. Put your arms around me. All right. That was a story for another time. I actually had the mall security guard tell me to turn my strobes off. I can hear them in there talking. Kobe's talking trash. So quit macking on the models.
What you doing after this?